Speak for yourselves, Jason McIntyre. Jason, I know you have an opinion on this
well,
one.
Thanks for having me back.
Well,
Back-to-back days.
Back.
Broussard let that happen. I'm shocked.
Yeah,
he feels so threatened by me.
It was a big argument
Kevin
as to whether
Durant
or not
takes.
we should bring you back.
Like Belichick, he has a softer side these days.
Yeah.
Did
Walk
KD,
lightly.
is he responsible for damaging the league?
No. I mean, this is Miles Garrett. I had to look up his major at Texas A&M just to make sure, he was actually taking real classes, because this is as bad as it gets, is it not? Did LeBron ruin the league when he joined 2 top 10 scorers in Miami? No. Did LeBron ruin the league when he went back to Cleveland to join forces with 25-10 guy Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving, the MVP of the All-Star game? No. Kevin Durant, and people hate when I say this, but he made the tough decision. I mean, Jamie, this is a guy who was playing on a team with a point guard who was selfish, Russell Westbrook. He left there to go to a selfless team.
So he was selfish when they were 3-1 up on the Warriors, right?
You can't get hung up on that.
I'm not.
Rob, the man.
Come on, you can't. How did they get up 3-1? They get up so selfish. They went to the finals one other year.
Here's the thing, Jason. When they were healthy, Westbrook, a lot of those years after they reached the finals, they weren't healthy together.
Correct.
So, there's no doubt
remember,
Westbrook
Kevin
can be
Durant
difficult to
was
play
on a
with,
team with
don't act
two
like they
other
were
superstars, Russell
team.
Westbrook and James Harden. And the GM went and traded James Harden, which hurt them. They never got back to the finals after that.
Because of the injuries, though.
Well, the injuries, but if they had Harden, they could have possibly overcome them. And I keep coming back to this. I don't care that they were up 3-1, okay? They were last in the league in passes per game. They were a selfish team. But the Golden State Warriors play a beautiful brand of basketball that everybody
But you're ignoring the fact that, A, they had gone to the finals, so it's not like they never got there because they were selfish. And B, they should have beaten Golden State that year. If you remember, Durant in Game 7 shot 6 for 26. Or whatever it was. He had a terrible
Durant
game.
had a pretty good Game 7. He carried them and made it.
But Game 5 and 6, he was bad.
He was bad.
They were Games 5 and 6, he was bad.
He was not present.
They were equally as bad.
So
and the
don't put it all on Westbrook.
The point guard who dominates the ball on that team, he was top 5 in average seconds per possession. He held the ball longer than any other point guard in the league. Kevin Durant had to get out of there. 8 years was enough.
And here's the thing. I think people are looking, first of all, I think Myles Garrett, it is kind of hard when you hear from a guy from the Browns. Since the last time they won a championship, they had just finished putting the finishing touches on the pyramids in Egypt. That's how long ago it was.
Not bad.
But, hey, I'm from Cleveland.
Okay,
slow down.
I'm just saying. But he's wrong. The league has been damaged, but LeBron James has damaged the league, not Kevin Durant. Again, Kevin Durant took the lead from LeBron James when he formed the super team down in Miami and basically just said, hey, you got MySpace, I got Facebook. And that's what the Warriors did. They won up LeBron James. And that's why LeBron can't cry about it. That's the one thing that I think is ridiculous.
As the biggest Tom Brady fan in the world, the Patriots have been to, I believe, 8 Super Bowls in 18 years.
What?
Have they ruined the NFL because they're awesome and they add guys like Randy Moss?
They also went 10 years without winning a Super Bowl.
It's different.
It's totally different.
Where I differ with you, look, I didn't get mad at KD for going to Golden State, and I'm not on that. What I'm on is it has damaged the league. For you to act like it hasn't hurt the league is just fine. We haven't seen dominance like this since Bill Russell. And back then,
there were only 8 teams back then.
Nobody really cared about the NBA to a large degree back then. Magic's teams didn't dominate like this. Jordan's teams won 3 straight, then he retired. Now, he probably could have kept winning. But even then, they were facing a different team every year.
There were way more teams in the mix.
And there was an organic feel to that team. If Golden State didn't have Durant and won these last 2, went 32-6 in the playoffs, there would be a different feel because it was more organic. Tell me the league hasn't.
Tiger Woods dominated golf. He damaged the sport. People love dynasties, whether it's the Yankees, whether it's the Patriots.
It's totally
they love competition too. They love when a dynasty overcomes competition. There is no competition.
They had to overcome a deficit to the Rockets. No, we saw that series.
Jason, I think you're flat missing the point. Like when you say what Myles Garrett said is that Kevin Durant broke the league. He was wrong there because LeBron started it. This is why Kevin Durant went to Golden State, so that he could beat what Myles Garrett said was not a sure thing, LeBron going to Miami. That was another mistake. It was a sure thing.
They
when he
went
went to
4 straight years to the championship.
They said they were going to win 8 or not 7,
but that
not
was
8.
it was a sure thing. We knew Miami was going to be in the finals every single year. What Kevin Durant did, the reason why it is such a big deal is because he had the team that he joined by the neck, the throat, and to leave and to join them, an already great team, to make them even better. That was it. I'm not going to say it was selfish. It was a business decision that he decided to make. I'm not opposed to it. I question it.
So what should he have done? Should Kevin Durant have stayed in Oklahoma City?
No, he has every right to have done whatever he wanted to do.
Should he have gone to the Sacramento Kings?
The argument is not, at least from me, and I don't think from Greg, is not that Kevin Durant made the wrong move.
Right.
He's absolutely right when he says it's not my duty to take care of the league.
Yeah.
If they can't be competitive, that's on them. My contention with you is you're sitting here saying the NBA is not damaged.
Oh, it's tremendous.
You have said yourself, and I know you're going to hit him with the ratings.
You know that.
You have said yourself that no team has ever gone to 5 straight finals since Bill Russell's Celtics. Yeah. Guess what? Next year, it's probably going to happen. And if it doesn't, it's not going to be because the Lakers are so good or the Spurs are so good or the Rockets are so good. It's going to be because Golden State got bored or somebody got injured or egos took. Nobody can beat them when they play their game.
And here's the other part where you talked about people like dynasties. They do when they're natural and when you look at Golden State, Steph, they draft Draymond Green in the second round, Klay Thompson. Those are their guys, all right?
Homegrown talent.
Even when you talk about even the Yankees dynasty of the late 90s and early 2000s, Jeter was homegrown, Posada, Mariano Rivera, Andy Pettitte. They all came from their farm system, so you can't look at it and go, oh, they brought a championship. These are their guys.
Their own general manager even recognizes that with the statements he made about Kevin Durant and his contract. Like, Steph has been here.
He said he earned it.
The commissioner, Adam Silver said, it's not really good for the league.
Adam Silver can only blame himself for with the salary cap. They could have spaced it out, but they let everybody have all the money. And it really gave the Warriors an opportunity to add a great player.
Do you think the league will make some changes to rectify the situation?
I don't think they should. The league is in great shape.
Just give
Jamie, hold on.
Tell us why.
You know why?
Did you see the TV
because
ratings?
all we're talking about right now is what super team LeBron is going to build to challenge the Warriors.
But why were the TV ratings down?
Because there was a 4-game sweep.
No, but you have a dynasty that people still want to watch, all right?
Look at the Western Conference Finals. Look at the Western Conference Finals ratings. They were up.
No, but I'm telling you, I'm
talking
about Golden State, Game 4, and even the whole series.
It was a sweep.
Yes, but I'm just telling you, also, people tuned out from Game 1. Also, the Warriors did not sell out Game 1 of the finals.
The Warriors fatigued in the Bay Area.
They didn't sell out Game 1.
Bad for the league?
The reason why the Western Conference Finals, the ratings were up is because we use this word optimistic. People were optimistic that this team could possibly dethrone the Golden State Warriors.
But what other metrics do you want to use to call the league broken besides TV ratings? I mean, look at social media interest, Chris. You look at it all the time. People cannot avoid your podcast. It's popping. People love the NBA segments on these shows.
But I also hear
I agree.
Kevin Durant has helped the league.
Well, popularity is high, but from a competition standpoint, and here's the difference.
That's not on KD.
Our colleague Colin Cowherd, who's great, he compares it to journalism and marketing and just business in general. It's different. Sports competition is inherent to sports. You cannot even have sports without competition. You can have a newspaper.
Right.
You can have a store. You can have a clothing line without competition. Now, it may be better with competition, but you can have it. You can't have sports without competition, and that's where the challenge is. It's gotten so bad that you've heard people say, LeBron should sit out a year.
Oh, no. Right. Come on.
People are saying the best player in the world should sit out because there's nowhere he can go to beat Golden State. I don't agree with that, but that's what people are saying.
Jason, do you think that Kevin needs to go somewhere else to win?
No.
To validate
that is lunacy. This idea that he should go to Charlotte or Sacramento to try to prove something.
Nobody's
no
saying
way.
those teams.
Not
that
those
is insanity.
teams.
You know what, Jamie? We would say if he went anywhere else and didn't win, well, see, he's not a champion. He needs Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
Okay, can I say this?
What if he
went, and I'm just throwing it out, to the Knicks and teamed up with Porzingis. I'm just saying.
What if he went
and
back
he
to
won
Oklahoma
a
City?
and he won a championship
It
or
would mean
OKC?
more.
It would
Or
mean
Washington his
more.
hometown. I'm not. Look, just like LeBron.
This is
hold on.
such social media knee-jerk
Jason.
stuff. In 10 years, nobody's going to say anything about he should have gone to this
We
other
ain't
team.
10 years from now. We're right now.
I agree with you
Jason,
there.
Does LeBron's titles in Miami were great, just like Durant's
The one in
titles here are
Cleveland
fine.
bigger.
Which was the one in Cleveland bigger than the
Well,
two
they
in
were down
Miami?
3-1, and Draymond Green got
That's
the
all-
suspension.
but-
No,
But
they
even
won.
beyond
They
that,
won.
It was
He
great.
went-
The city had never won it. Your city, Cleveland, had never won anything.
No, they
since
won.
You said
Since
what, the
Jim
Pyramids?
Brown, yeah.
Oh, Jim Brown. Okay, there you
That
go.
one title was bigger. Now, Durant, look, he's getting praise for his 2 rings. So people are saying he's the second best player in the world. Some are arguing he's the best player in the world. So nobody's killing him for that. But if he went back to Oklahoma City, or if he went to Washington, his hometown, and led John Wall,
Yes.
Don't listen to these guys, Durant.
I'm not saying he should. I'm just saying it is undeniable that a title he won with one of those teams would be more impressive.
It would put him
hold
over
on.
the top.
Let
People
me
would
ask
look at his
Jamie.
legacy.
Jamie, LA person. LeBron comes to LA. They dethrone the Warriors. Won't that trump what LeBron did in
How
Cleveland?
about if they get knocked
Taking
out the
down the
second
greatest
round?
team in
No,
NBA
it wouldn't
history?
trump it. It would be impressive.
I think it would top what he did. in
He
Cleveland.
beat a 73-win
They didn't
team.
have Kevin Durant. This team's better than the 73-win team. It's not even
Did they
close.
win 73 wins?
They got Kevin Durant.
See, I think with what this is proving our point with it has damaged the league because you're saying what needs to happen. LeBron has to team up with somebody or a collective group of guys to trump one team. So we're constantly talking about one
Yes.
team. We're not including the entire Western Conference. We're saying one team because why? Because they are too dominant.
Because in the 80s, it was the Lakers and Celtics and a bunch of other teams, right? There was so many other teams.
Philadelphia, Detroit,
Oh, yeah,
Houston.
yeah.